building to get even a partial peek at a 3-block-long message, 25-foot-tall letters spelling out Black Lives Matter across 15th Street in Oakland from Harrison to Broadway. Artists decided to take back the street and Saturday night started sketching out the message before getting the city's permission.
When you're dealing with artists, they're just like, they want to go now. You like sit there and be like, okay, so now we got to fill out this form, and we got to go to the appendix and make sure we're doing this. Now we see where it says toolkit here. This is the type of paint that we need. They're just kind of like, we just want to paint. Like, we just want to paint.
Pacho Kachingwe owns The Hatch. It's an artist bar at 15th and Franklin. He eventually did get the city's blessing for the project, and then the call went out for volunteers. But even he was blown away by all the couples and the kids that showed up.
There's so much pizza that was just dropped off. I don't even know where it came from. No clue where it came from. I was like, why is all this food here all of a sudden? Water. People are bringing paintbrushes. People are bringing hand sanitizers, masks, everything. And it's actually been more than I could have ever expected.
It's like a lot of people needed to get their hands on or in some of the 75 gallons of bright yellow paint in the roadway. Gwen is an Oaklander who moved away and just returned.
It's so inspirational. It brought me to tears. It makes me so happy to be back in my home.
You can see pictures of the mural effort at our website, kcbsradio.com. Reporting live, Hollis 1, KCBS.
Thanks, Holly. At long last, Bay Area counties are easing up a bit on the shelter-in-place rules that have been in place for nearly 3 months. KCBS's Matt Bigler reporting live now that Alameda County is a place where people are hearing the term social bubble. Do tell, Matt.
Stan, it's the question a lot of folks here in Alameda County are asking. Who should be in my social bubble? What is that exactly? Well, the county health department is now allowing residents to form groups of up to 12 people, your bubble, for socialization, as long as they only get together outside and continue to wear masks and social distance.
I think it's a good idea.
Mio Psyche in San Leandro was going to invite some friends into her social bubble. What is she looking forward to doing?
Seeing their faces. I think when you see somebody, it's easier to talk to them versus I don't like the phone.
Now, let's be honest. Social bubbles are something that a lot of people have already been doing during the shelter in place, maybe under different names, pandemic pod, COVID crew. Health officials say be careful not to pop your bubble. A person should only belong to one bubble at a time, and those groups should be maintained for at least 3 weeks. Reporting live in the East Bay, Matt Bigler, KCBS.
Thanks, Matt. California's oldest penitentiary now has its first cases of COVID-19. KCBS's Susan Kennedy reports the cases showed up after the transfer of inmates into San Quentin.
The inmates came from the California Institution for Men in Chino, which has one of the largest coronavirus outbreaks in the state prison system. A Department of Corrections spokesperson says the inmates were tested and medically evaluated before and after the transfers to San Quentin, but 4 of those inmates tested positive for the coronavirus after arriving at the Marin prison. As of Sunday, 14 inmates have tested positive for the virus and 6 employees. The prison has so far tested just over 500 of the 3,500 inmates, and transfers from the California Institution for Men, which has had over 700 cases of coronavirus, have now been suspended. Susan Kennedy, KCBS.
Just ahead on KCBS.
More and more people headed back to work. I'm Tim Ryan with an increase in BART service.
KCBS First for Traffic, your local Honda dealer's traffic center. Of course, BART's still lightly attended, Kim, would be a polite way of putting it.
Yes, that is the case, and we are seeing the freeways more attended, and boy, we have a lot of accidents this morning, Stan. I'm not sure what has gone wrong, but numerous problems on the East Shore Freeway heading to the Bay Bridge, and the Bay Bridge still recovering from problems. So let's take a look first at westbound Interstate 80. This report brought to you by DuckDuckGo Privacy. So westbound 80, the big problem is as you make your way toward Powell Street, just past Ashby and Berkeley, the 3 left lanes have been blocked with a 4-car crash. This is the one that has a traffic advisory attached to it. Also, we're just getting word of another accident in the backup in Richmond. That was a crash that was West 80 at Carlson. Now, that has just recently cleared to the shoulder, but we're still seeing very heavy traffic coming down out of El Cerrito, or even, let's call it Richmond, to the Albany Hill area, and another accident in that backup just now clearing off to the right shoulder. We've also had some problems up in the Cordelia area. This is westbound Interstate 80 right before 680. 2 middle lanes might be a little closer to Suisun Valley, but debris in lanes. Big rig is involved in this. That one's off to the right shoulder. The rig is, but we still have debris. So stop and go traffic out of Fairfield for Cordelia. The Bay Bridge had been suffering behind an early morning accident at Fremont Street. Then there was a crash in the backup at the tolls, but the toll plaza area is actually thinning out a little bit right now just because of the hangup of traffic that is on the East Shore Freeway. We have a grass fire, Los Altos Hills, northbound 680. This is between El Monte and Page Mill Road, center divide. It looks like CHP is preparing to run a traffic break there. Want the same internet but with more privacy? DuckDuckGo's got you covered. They help millions of people like you get privacy online without any trade-offs. With one download, you can search and browse privately, avoiding trackers, all for free. DuckDuckGo, privacy simplified. Your next update is at 8:18 on the Traffic Leader, KCBS.
It's going to be sunny and warming weather for the first part of this week. The winds have vanished, and we're heading for an afternoon of 77-degree weather in Oakland, 79 in San Jose, 71 in San Francisco, and into the low 80s in a few inland spots. It'll get warmer tomorrow. Traffic and weather together on the 8s on All News 106.9 and AM 740 KCBS.
Hi, this is Matt Jesse, president of MB Jesse Painting, and I have some great news. We are back. My team of over 50 amazing painters is ready to do what we do best, providing awesome painting services for homes and businesses throughout the Bay Area. We are committed to doing every job safely and on time. Contact us today for your free painting estimate. Call 855-MB-JESSE or visit us online at mbjesse.com.
MB Jesse. Get ahead this summer and prep for fall at Futures Academy with live one student, one teacher virtual classrooms. Master math, succeed in science, love foreign languages, and enjoy small group summer camps, all from the safety of your home. Futures Academy is an accredited private school for grades 6 through 12, offering on-campus and online learning. Schedule a virtual campus tour today. Enroll now for summer school or summer camp and save 15%. Go to futures.edu. That's futures.edu. Futures.edu.
Mortgage rates are at historic lows, and this is our lowest 30-year fixed rate ever. And now your direct lender, Network Capital Funding, is offering mortgage rates at historic lows. See for yourself. Our 30-year fixed rate is 2.875 with a 2.89% APR. Incredible! Plus, there's no lender origination fees or discount points. This is the best it's ever been. And now you have Network Capital Funding on your side, saving you money and time with their uniquely fast, simple, and secure process. These are our best rates ever, so call now to save. See for yourself. Our 30-year fixed rate is 2.875 with a 2.89% APR. Incredible. Call the experts at Network Capital Funding. 800-500, the number 1 HIT. That's 800-500-1HIT. As in home run. It's a grand slam to your best savings ever on your new mortgage or refi. That's 800-500-1HIT or 800-500-1448. NMLS ID 11712. Visit NMLSConsumerAccess.org. Licensed by the California Department of Business Oversight under the Finance Lender Law. Number 603D787. An equal opportunity lender. Rates subject to change and credit approval. Call 800-500-1HIT for more information.
KCBS News Time 8:11. Back to work day for more and more people each day in the Bay Area, and more of them, BART hopes, will hop aboard. BART is adding service. KCBS's Tim Ryan joining us with more. Tim?
Stan, BART is adding service to its busiest line between Pleasant Hill and Daly City. Of course, busiest line is really a relative term right now. The trains are going to run every 15 minutes during the peak hours. On May 1st, for example, ridership on BART overall was down 93%. It's since improved, but just barely. BART is hoping to reassure riders that the system is as safe as it can be, with regular disinfection of trains and stations, hand sanitizing devices, and of course requiring face coverings on all passengers. This Oakland healthcare worker, Nina, is part of a new BART video promoting longer trains to allow passengers to stay away from one another.
They don't try to cram us into one train so we can keep social distancing.
There are only about 35,000 people riding BART right now, down from more than 400,000 last year. And you Clipper card holdouts had better think twice as BART this week ends paper ticket sales at many of its busiest stations. The VTA, we should add, also slightly increases its service beginning today. Reporting live, Tim Ryan, KCBS.
Thanks, Tim. 8:13 at KCBS. A couple of minutes away from sports. We'll be joined this hour by noted Bay Area sportscaster Ted Robinson as sports leagues across the country try to figure out, can they get going again?
You may have heard a lot of talk about the extreme volatility in the stock market during this pandemic. It's true. We're living in unprecedented times. That's also true. What is not true, however, is that the market's volatility is anything new or different. Volatility is normal. It's a constant in the financial markets. As an investment advisor with 35 years of experience, I've helped my clients mitigate the adverse effects of volatility. I'm John Gardner, founder of Blackhawk Wealth Advisors, an independent, unbiased investment advisory firm. I'm often asked, how's the market doing? A better question is, how's your strategic investment plan doing? You need a real, diversified, strategic, risk-reducing investment plan to meet your long-term investment needs and goals. And that's where we can help.
Get your plan started today. Call now, 888-985-PLAN. That's 888-985-PLAN. Call 888-985-PLAN for your free investment plan consultation. Blackhawk Wealth Advisors. Certified, experienced, disciplined. Call now, 888-985-PLAN. This is an important message from the City of San Francisco. Reopening San Francisco depends on you. By simply covering your nose and mouth with a mask, scarf, or bandana and keeping your distance from others when you leave your home, you show your loved ones and the community that they can count on you. Together, let's safely reopen San Francisco. For more information, visit sf.gov/reopening. That's sf.gov/reopening.
Meet Chuck. Now, meet Chuck's personal information.
Hello.
Made up of things like account logins, bank info, and Chuck's social security number. Whenever Chuck shops, banks, and browses online, his info travels all over the world.
Bonjour, ni hao, privyet.
Exposing it to cyber threats.
Well, that's no good.
So how is Chuck able to sleep? Because he knows Norton and LifeLock are now part of one company. Norton 360 with LifeLock provides an all-in-one membership for your cyber safety that gives you device security, identity theft protection, a VPN for online privacy, and more. No one can prevent all cybercrime and identity theft, but Norton 360 with LifeLock is your ally in today's connected world.
That's a relief, right, Chuck? I think that's a yes.
Sign up today for Norton 360 with LifeLock and save 25% or more off your first year by going to norton.com/news. That's norton.com/news for 25% off.
KCBS News Time, 8:15, and time for a sports update. Steve's with us, and a special guest in a moment, too. Steve?
Yeah, Stan, the Major League Baseball owners meeting at a conference call this morning to discuss their next move. They rejected the players' offer to play 114 games with prorated salaries. They were willing to do so for 50 games. The players might be willing for 82. Can they compromise?
Yeah.
And the U.S. Soccer Federation Board of Directors considering repealing its policy requiring national team players to stand during the national anthem. The board will meet in a conference call tomorrow with a likely vote Friday.
All right, as mentioned a few moments ago, Steve, Ted Robinson with us this morning, the noted Bay Area sportscaster. Good morning, Ted. How you doing?
Hey, good morning, Stan and Steve. And man, listening, Steve, to that baseball story, it's just I'm checking my watch here during what's become Groundhog Month, I think. It's June 8th, and we're not talking about baseball. It's crazy.
I know, and the fact that this, I mentioned to Steve earlier this morning, it seems like I've heard him say the owners and the players are not seeing eye to eye about 150 times in the last 100 days.
Yeah, we know enough now. It's very clear that the decades of animosity between the owners and the Players Association baseball has never really healed. There's new leadership. That I'm surprised at some of the what appears to be intransigence on his side. But I would just say this, Stan and Steve, is that I read something yesterday that just jarred me, and it was on ESPN's website. Buster Olney, who's one of the most senior and respected baseball writers in America right now, and he was writing a long piece about where baseball is right now and why it's not getting ready to play. And one sentence in the middle of the piece just jumped out at me. And it was, baseball has generated more disgust than inspiration. And I stopped and read that again, and I thought back to the great line of almost, 50 years ago, uttered in the midst of our turmoil over Vietnam, when the president said, if we've lost Cronkite, we've lost America. Remember that line?
Yeah.
If you've lost Buster Olney, you've lost a lot if you're Major League Baseball.
And compounding matters, Ted, is the fact that the CBA expires after next season. So even if they can salvage this season, a year from now, or a little more than a year from now, we're going through this again.
Yeah, what of course was hard to believe and what's hard to fathom for fans is that the players, and I'm not blaming fault here, this is not the point, but what I think settles in, having gone through this a lot firsthand, is that the fans just see players making pretty significant salaries and being willing to not play at all, being willing to walk away from all of that money in a year and in this time, in this moment that has no past, no precedent, is incredible. And you know, it's like I said, it's June 8th, guys, and the game is no closer to starting than it was a month ago. And here's the issue that someone said this to me last week, someone involved in sports for a long time that I spoke with, and said, you know, when you look at where the NBA is right now, and they have the hard, fast plan ready to go to Orlando to start their season the end of July. For better or for worse is what they're going to do. But what Adam Silver, the commissioner of the NBA, did when he first succeeded David Stern was he told the owners this. He says, I'm going to the top players, and I'm going to establish a relationship with them because it's the best business plan for us going forward. And Adam Silver did that, and I think it's now well seen as well. He's forged an incredible bond with Chris Paul. But what Adam Silver did was tell the players, look, I work for the owners. We know that. But we need to work together to be the best business we can be. And you see the results of this. The NBA is by far the best business of our professional sports. And as we know about football and the animosity towards the commissioner, it seems it's pretty much there in baseball too.
Ted, before we let you go, let me ask you, because of your contacts with the college sports world these days, what's going to happen with college football this fall? Is that on?
Yeah, I think it is, Stan. I mean, again, the form's still to be determined. I believe June 15 is a pretty solid date that we're going to hear, so that's next Monday. We'll hear something concrete as to how it's going to go forward, particularly if it will play the schedule as it currently stands. You know, I still believe options are on the table to have a delay in the start, to play fewer games. All of this comes around again to the question, I think, who's going to be first? The NBA's pretty much put themselves out there and said, we're going July 31. If college football is going to play its scheduled games around the 1st of September, they're going to have to be players at schools playing probably by the 15th of July, or at least working out, I should say, in organized groups by the 15th of July. But I still think the cost to not play is too steep for too many schools.
All right, Ted, thanks so much. Stay safe. That's our longtime friend, Ted Robinson. And Steve will be back with his next sports update at 8:45. Right now, Kim Wonderly keeping an eye on traffic. And, Kim, we've noted it many times in these last few weeks as things creep back toward normal. More trouble early on in the traffic, in the morning commute.
Yeah, I'll say. And the traffic has been flowing pretty freely. We haven't been seeing the traffic get back to normal as far as the bulk of these big backups that we used to deal with daily. But because of that, just lately, and certainly this morning, we've seen our fair share of accidents. We'll start on Interstate 80. Back in the Fairfield, Cordelia area, there is an accident, and this report is brought to you by Hint Water. On westbound Interstate 80, right around Sassoon Valley Road, close to the Cordelia interchange. They're still working on clearing this altogether from the freeway. It looks like it's off to the right shoulder largely, maybe some debris out there, but traffic is stacked up from Highway 12. Then coming down the East Shore Freeway, this is challenging. You're backed up through El Cerrito, almost to Cutting Boulevard. There's been 2 separate accidents near Carlson. Both have been cleared, but the bigger accident has been just between Ashby and Powell Street. That one in the 2 left lanes now. So they're making progress. Remember, this was blocking 4 lanes of traffic at one time, but that's why 80 is so tough, and 580 merging down from Central Avenue onto 80 is also stacked up. Bay Bridge much better at the toll plaza, though, coming into San Francisco. Looks like they may be running traffic breaks near Los Altos Hills. This has been a grass fire, Center Divide area. The northbound side of 280 approaching Page Mill is definitely backed up here. Hint is pure water infused with surprisingly true fruit flavors, including watermelon, blackberry, and cherry. No sugar, no sweeteners, no calories. Available in your local grocery store or at drinkhint.com. Hint, water with a touch of true fruit flavor. Next update, 8:28 on the Traffic Leader, KCBS.
Mancini Sleep World 6-day forecast. Enjoy big savings during Mancini Sleep World's triple bonus mattress sale. Visit sleepworld.com. Mary Lee at KPIX 5.
Good Monday morning to you. Today, the start of a warming trend for us as high pressure builds in. So plenty of sunshine. We're starting off the day with clear skies. Temperatures generally in the 50s this morning as we head through the afternoon. Low to mid 80s inland with that sunshine. Low to mid 70s around the bay and mid 60s along the coast. Now, not as windy as over the weekend, but still some breezy conditions along the coast and right around the bay with northwesterly winds about 10 to 20 miles per hour with gusts up to 30 to 35 miles per hour. For Tuesday and Wednesday, we heat up. So we're talking low 90s inland by Tuesday and for Wednesday. And then we're going to slowly cool it back down for Thursday, Friday, and especially for Saturday.
Traffic and weather together on All News 106.9 and AM 740 KCBS. Right now, Jason Brooks, Money Watch update.
And Stan, another strong day for the stock market. Dow's up 288 points to 27,399. NASDAQ gaining 32 points to 9846, putting it in record territory. And the S&P higher by 17 points to 3211. Boeing is doing a lot of heavy lifting for the Dow during the current week-long rally, and it's catching another tailwind today thanks to bullish analyst notes. A Seaport Global analyst note starts coverage on Boeing stock with a buy rating and a $277 price target, more than 30% above Friday's closing price, while Goldman Sachs is hiking its price target on Boeing, with the analyst notes saying air travel demand appears to be improving for the second half of 2020. Boeing stock has soared about 50% over the past week, with airlines seeing massive gains as well, with American and United leading the way with schedule increases in July. Shares in Boeing today up by 13%. And Tesla stock is trading in record territory. It's up 5% and over $929. That's above its prior closing record of $917 in February. On the Money Watch, Jason Brooks, KCBS.
Your home is your castle, your refuge, your safe place.
Our job at 1-800-GOT-JUNK is to make junk disappear.
And we're good at it.
Your home will feel bigger.
And cleaner.
And you'll feel happier.
We promise.
Give us a call.
Or go to our website.
And your junk will magically disappear as our truck drives past your home.
Well, almost.
We'll be in and out before you can blink.
Nothing except the things you want to disappear.
Call 1-800-GOT-JUNK.
Or visit 1-800-GOT-JUNK.com.
T-Mobile and Sprint are joining forces to power your business. We're building a 5G network that will deliver unprecedented reach and reliability and the highest capacity in history. With more coverage and more bandwidth to keep your employees connected, you'll get the largest and most reliable network at an unbeatable price. T-Mobile for Business. Visit T-MobileForBusiness.com to learn more.
I've come to Antarctica to make a point. To earn money market interest at the bank, you have to freeze your money for what feels like an ice age. But with a money market savings account from Star One Credit Union, you get high money market interest, and it's totally liquid. So you don't have to freeze your funds. For money market interest and total liquidity, go to starone.org. Come get the star treatment at Star One. Whew. Can we go back inside now?
Hi, I'm Andy Puddicombe, the host of a brand new podcast called Radio Headspace. I'd love it if you could join me to start the day in a different way. Whether you like to think of it as a thought for the day, a moment of pause, or some time to reflect. And a reminder that no matter what's going on in our lives, there's comfort to be found in coming together for just a few minutes every weekday morning. You can listen and subscribe to Radio Headspace for free on radio.com, Apple Podcasts, or wherever you like to listen.
Is your sex life less than satisfying? The doctors at Prime Male Medical have the solution, and they guarantee it. Over the last 5 years, they've helped thousands of clients with performance issues.
We have a 99% success rate in treating ED.
That's Dr. Robert Rowley from Prime Male Medical, exclusively dedicated to male impotence and performance issues. Even where Viagra and Cialis have failed, Prime Male Medical has a history of success.
Most impotence problems can be treated in just one visit.
Medication is FDA approved and guaranteed. KCBS listeners get your first visit, PSA test, testosterone test, ultrasound, and a full year of free follow-up visits for just $99. That's a $695 value. For information, go to primemailmedical.com.
Prime Male Medical, with clinics in the East Bay and San Francisco. Call now 415-761-4037. That's 415-761-4037. Call 415-761-4037.
KCBS News Time, 8:28. First for traffic, Kim Wonderly, your local Honda Dealers Traffic Center.
It's a bit of a mess. East Shore Freeway getting down toward Powell Street, Emeryville. There's been 2 accidents now. A new accident is just coming in, Stan, westbound 80. They're calling it east of Powell, right, which was right about where the other crash was. This one said to be blocking the number 3 lane, which was one of the lanes that had been open. Now, the accident that had the traffic advisory around it had long been blocking the left lanes. We're just learning that long-standing crash has been cleared, but still a new one to deal with. So, Interstate 80 is backed up all the way into El Cerrito. There have been other problems in that backup that have cleared off to the right shoulder. Westbound Interstate 80 trying to get from Sassoon City into Cordelia is still bottled up. An accident looked like it has cleared from the lanes, but there's still debris out there before you get to the 680 split. We're also looking at traffic on northbound 280 around Los Altos Hills. They've been running traffic breaks because of a brush fire burning in the center divide. Next update, 8:38 on the traffic leader, KCBS.
Okay, the weather story, you pretty much see what you're getting today. Sunny, warmer, and less windy. Traffic and weather together on the 8s on All News 106.9 and AM 740 KCBS.
The pitter-patter, splitter-splatter of Sunday mornings.
Wait, no, that's bacon. And it's spitting all over your PJs. Stains can ruin any moment. Get them out with Tide, America's #1 detergent. If it's gotta be clean, it's gotta be Tide.
It all starts with just one thing. Make your pet more green. Buy organic pet food, seek out kitty litter made with natural materials, and clean up after your pet using certified green products. Find tips and more at onethingus.com. What's your one thing?
News that matters to you around the Bay, around the world, around the clock. All News 106.9 and AM 740 KCBS.
Monday, June 8th, 2020. Coming up on KCBS, update expected today from Santa Cruz County officials on the ambush that killed a sheriff's deputy over the weekend. And House Democrats kneel in George Floyd's honor while unveiling legislation on police and racial issues. It's 8:31.
CBS News update. House Democrats are out with new legislation to deal with policing and racism.
Today, this moment of national anguish is being transformed into a movement of national action.
House Speaker Pelosi and other Democrats took a knee in silence for 8 minutes, 46 seconds today, the length of time a police knee was on George Floyd's neck. Beforehand, President Trump tweeted, Democrats have, quote, gone crazy amid calls to defund police departments. CBS's Michelle Miller's in Houston, where there's a church viewing for Floyd today.
Joe Biden will meet with the family today to offer his condolences. He is just one of the list of dignitaries and celebrities expected to support the family. People who are honoring Floyd this week say his life will change the nation ever.
Lee Merritt is an attorney for the Floyd family.
George was a loving guy. They called him a big, gentle giant.
CBS News Update. I'm Steve Kathan.
KCBS News Time, 8:32. Santa Cruz County Sheriff's officials promising to release more information today on the ambush shooting in Ben Lomond over the weekend that left a sheriff's deputy dead and 2 other law enforcement officers injured. The update due to happen at 2 this afternoon. You can expect coverage later in the day on KCBS. Santa Cruz County Sheriff's Deputy Sergeant, a 2nd deputy critically injured, a CHP officer shot in the hand. The alleged attacker, identified as Air Force Sergeant Stephen Carrillo, stationed at Travis Air Force Base attached to a military police unit there. He was shot during the incident and remains hospitalized. FBI and local investigators looking into a possible link between this shooting and that of Patrick Underwood, a contract security officer who worked for the Federal Protective Service. Underwood shot to death outside the federal courthouse in Oakland over a week ago during a night of chaotic protests, riots and looting. Both incidents
help some of these private schools pull off a Hail Mary, an advantage of learning off campus while they continue to figure out a way to keep the doors on campus open. In San Francisco, Dan Mitchinson, KCBS.
And here's another private school story. This one, a long-time Walnut Creek-based private school shutting down, the Palmer School for Boys and Girls, around since 1939, suddenly closing on Friday. An email to parents from the school's headmaster says restrictions related to COVID-19 and the health threat to students, too much to overcome. KCBS News Time, 8:36.
Hey, it's summer. Termites maybe not really on your mind. You put off calling even though you're pretty sure you got an infestation. This is Joe Starkey. Pacific Coast Termite has been to my home, and boy, did we need it. Not only do we need it, we found out places we needed it we didn't think we would need it. The polite and professional staff was superb. They inspect, treat every problem, repair where needed, and finally, they take all necessary measures to keep the little devils away. And I really never knew they were even in the house. Pacific Coast Termite uses Orange Oil Plus, so you and your pets can stay in your home. No fumigation to force you to bag your food. No need to move out. Pacific Coast Termite is the trusted company that has served the Bay Area for many years and are A+ rated by the Better Business Bureau. So if you call now, you get 10% off termite treatments. And have you noticed rodents? Oh, yikes. We did, and Pacific Coast Termite took care of that problem too. Call them like I did. 1-800-PACIFIC. That's 800-722-4342 or PacificCoastTermite.com.
Reaching out to a friend about their mental health can feel awkward, which is why it helps to have something to break the ice. You could go for a walk or grab a slice of pizza. And if you're not driving, you could even use this commercial break to text them. See? That was easy. Reach out to a friend about their mental health. Find more ways to help at seizetheawkward.org. Brought to you by the Ad Council, American Foundation for Suicide Prevention, and the JED Foundation.
You're working from home. So how do you connect with coworkers and clients? With RingCentral, the #1 global communication solution for business. RingCentral makes talking, texting, collaborating, and video calls easy. And it's all on one platform. And when we say everyone should be connected, we mean it. It's why we're giving RingCentral free to educators, health providers, and nonprofits. Learn more at ringcentral.com. Welcome to the new RingCentral.
KCBS News Time, 8:38. First for traffic. Talk to me, Kim Wonderly.
I will. I'll tell you the story of woe on the East Shore Freeway, although it's got a little bit better ending finally, with two separate accidents near Powell Street, Emeryville, between Ashby and Pell, now cleared from the roadway. So that's better news, because one of those had a traffic advisory attached to it where lanes have been blocked for quite some time. Stan, this report brought to you by Safeway. We are backed up, though. Chilton Auto Body Collision Cam sees it solid from Cutting Boulevard coming down through El Cerrito until you pass Powell Street. Then things get a lot better. Your fortunes are much better at the Bay Bridge Toll Plaza, where they have deactivated the metering lights. So that's because all the traffic's been hung up, trying to get down the East Shore Freeway. In the meantime, we had an accident here on the Concord side. This is why 242 is as plugged up as it is, coming down from, say, Solano Way toward the 680 merge. Accident out there. It looks like it's in the final clearing stages, but it's still quite heavy. The left lane had been blocked with some debris and one car still in the towing away process. We do have a traffic break going on, or at least the left lane seemed to be cordoned off in the Los Altos Hills area on northbound 280 near Page Mill. Grass fire being babbled in the center divide. Southbound lanes are clear, but two left lanes northbound taken away. That's why the slow traffic. Safeway partners with California growers and suppliers to bring you the freshest products. Let's support our local farming community and keep it thriving. This week, enjoy Safeway's hot summer deals. Sweet red cherries, $1.97 a pound. Sweet corn, $4 for $1. Personal seedless watermelon, buy one, get one free. Your next update is at 8:48 on the Traffic Leader, KCBS.
Weather forecast sponsored by Pacific Coast Termite. Really pleasant conditions today. Maybe a little warm for you by tomorrow, but let's start with today. The wind has settled down, so that's a plus. It's going to wind up warmer today, anywhere from 8 to 10 degrees warmer than it was yesterday. That'll put San Jose pretty close to 80, San Francisco into the low 70s, Oakland into the mid to upper 70s. Traffic and weather together on the 8s on All News 106.9 and AM 740 KCBS.
You hear that? That's the sound of falling home mortgage rates, and they're falling fast. Combine these falling rates with a no closing cost home loan from Fremont Bank, and you've got yourself an ideal time to take cash out of your current home, or even grab a purchase loan for a new one. These rates won't fall forever. So get on over to Fremont Bank and pick up a great one while you can. Finance your home with Fremont Bank. Visit fremontbank.com, equal housing lender.
Never paint your home again, go Rhino Shield.
We know that the last few months have been full of uncertainty, but there are still some things that remain constant. It's still as important as ever to keep your home beautiful and well maintained. And Rhino Shield is still the company you can trust to help you do just that. Rhino Shield is a permanent ceramic house paint that protects your home from the weather and puts a stop to the endless cycle of maintenance. It comes in any color, and it's guaranteed not to chip, crack, or peel like ordinary paint. By now, you've been hearing about Rhino Shield on KCBS for years. If you've ever thought about getting Rhino Shield for your home, now is the time to pick up the phone and call. We need to get our crews back to work, so we're offering our lowest prices ever. If this is your first time calling for an estimate, mention KCBS and save a full 20%. And if you have had an estimate from us in the past, call us now and we'll re-quote your job with the new discount. Call Rhino Shield today at 855-RHINO-55. That's 855-RHINO-55.
I didn't feel so well, so I searched my symptoms on Google, and now I'm being followed by uncomfortable ads. I hate feeling like my personal data is being bought and sold. I downloaded DuckDuckGo and saw a difference right away. Take back your privacy with DuckDuckGo.
841 at KCBS. Hundreds of thousands, maybe millions of Americans in the streets in recent days. But there's something else going on, too. KCBS's Melissa Culross reports voter registration is up among some demographics.
If numbers coming from Rock the Vote are any indication, young people are ready to make their voices heard at the ballot box.
We certainly have seen a surge in voter registration. Last week, between June 1st and the 5th, our platform received over 61,000 voter registration applications.
Carolyn DeWitt is president and executive director of Rock the Vote. And while she cannot say definitively that this surge is directly connected to the widespread racial justice protests that have been held since the death of George Floyd late last month, she says it is the largest Rock the Vote has seen all year. And DeWitt does believe that the demonstrations are reminding young voters that
elections aren't just about the presidency. They are about your sheriffs and your district attorneys and your mayors and your senators and your governors.
Voter registration tables have been set up at some protests around the country. Melissa Culross, KCBS.
KCBS News Time 842. Let me quickly remind you this morning's Ask an Expert topic. It's all about indoor air. We're all learning that things are going to be different as schools reopen, offices reopen, retail establishments. What's safe, what's not, what should you know when resetting your workplace? Max Sherman, a retired senior scientist from the Lawrence Berkeley National Lab, has been working on this stuff his whole career. Will be with us at 9:20 this morning. Any questions you may have, shoot them our way now. Ask us at kcbsradio.com and be tuned in for Ask an Expert at 9:20.
Our semi-mandatory confinement is now semi-over. Time to venture out into this brave new world. But let's make this like the Gov says, a smart and careful return. That's what the people at European Sleepworks are doing. Oh, they can't wait to get back to making and selling their own mattresses, assembled right here in their own factory from the finest European components. Currently, their expert associates are offering phone consultations to help identify your comfort needs. They also do curbside pickup and everything possible to keep customers and crew safe. Just talking to these people will help you feel more comfortable and confident that it's all going to be okay, and a good night's sleep will soon be yours. Every night. European Sleepworks at the corner of Adeline and Ashby in Berkeley, or online at sleepworks.com. That's sleepworks.com.
Securities and advisory services offered through United Planners Financial Services, member FINRA SIPC. Fitucci and Associates and United Planners are not affiliated.
How's this wild ride on Wall Street affecting your retirement nest egg? If you're retired or nearing retirement, your concern is making sure your savings can last a lifetime. Are you ready to trade volatility for stability? Then you should find out about the strategies that can help provide you a lifetime of steady income. This is information you need now, and you can get it with a free one-on-one virtual meeting or a phone call with Pat Vitucci or one of his team from don'tinvestandforget.com. You don't have to wait for an office appointment. You can schedule a call with Pat from the comfort of your home and learn about the income strategies designed to help you enjoy a more financially secure retirement. It's free and there's no obligation. Just call 888-PLAN-WISE or go to don'tinvestandforget.com. That's 888-PLAN-WISE or go to don'tinvestandforget.com.
Shreve & Company, your favorite destination for luxury shopping since 1852.
Coming up on KCBS, paddling out for social justice in Santa Cruz. KCBS News Time, 8:45. Right now, we turn to the sports desk and check in with Steve.
Yeah, Stan, the last time we watched a PGA golf tournament was back in mid-March, the Players' Championship. The first round was held, and then after that, it was canceled. 13 straight weeks then with lost tournaments, but the tour is returning on Thursday with the Charles Schwab Challenge in Fort Worth, Texas. No fans will be in attendance, but the Memorial in Dublin, Ohio, outside Columbus, beginning July 16th, will admit a limited number of spectators, about 8,000 per day. They may use the lottery system with fans who have already bought tickets. They're also offering those fans a chance to exchange those tickets for next year's Memorial. Stay tuned. Kevin Durant tells the undefeated that he will not return for this summer's planned playoffs beginning in August. Said he's not ready for his body isn't ready for the type of intensity necessary to compete at a playoff level. Durant tore an Achilles tendon 1 year ago Thursday. Major League Baseball owners meeting at a conference call this morning to discuss their next move. The 5-round Major League Baseball draft for high school seniors and college juniors and seniors begins with the first round Wednesday afternoon, then rounds 2 through 5 on Thursday. Amateur free agents can begin signing Friday. Giants have 7 picks beginning with number 13, and the A's with 5 picks beginning at number 26. And MLB is considering expanding the Arizona Fall League, which features top minor league prospects around the country. Typically, the AFL has 6 teams, but they are looking at boosting the number and creating a Florida Fall League as well. At the sports desk, Steve Bittker, KCBS.
It's game time, but your 4th graders would rather watch cartoons than ball. Thankfully, your Honda CR-V has Apple CarPlay and a superior sound system.
Hey Siri, play Mom's Pump Up Jams.
Whatever happens on the court, Coach, you just gotta win on the road. Hustle in to score a deal on a new CRV at your Northern California Honda dealer or NorCalHondaDealers.com. Honda is family. Ask anyone who owns a Honda.
Have you ever wanted to learn a new language like French, Spanish, or Russian, but thought it would be too difficult and time-consuming? Then go to Babbel.com and try it for free. Babbel works because it's built around real life. It teaches you everyday practical conversations that you will actually use. In 15 minutes a day, you'll be on your way to speaking a new language in just a few weeks. Babbel uses a modern conversation-based technique that makes language engaging, fun, and memorable. It starts by teaching you words and phrases. Then, sentences gradually get more complex. Soon, you're practicing short conversations about real-life topics. Babbel is created by language experts who use the spaced repetition method to help you learn quickly and remember what you learned. With Babbel, you can speak a new language. Babbel, language for life. Now try Babbel free. Just go to Babbel.com or download the Babbel app and start learning a new language today. That's Babbel.com. Babbel.com.
Is your family ready for an emergency? You can prepare by mapping out 2 ways to escape your home, creating a supply kit, and including your whole family in practice drills. For help creating an emergency plan, visit safetyactioncenter.pge.com.
We're your connection. It was a very different late night sound compared to last weekend. No thundering booms of tear gas, no running or screaming. We are the team that's always covering your community. It was people doing the electric slide at 14th and Broadway near City Hall. We are your news station, KCBS.
And we're first for traffic with Kim Wonderly's update now, sponsored by PG&E's Safety Action Center.
We're really heavy and slow East Shore Freeway, and this is reported by the KCBS Waze Force, and we're looking at it, too, from westbound 80 from, let's call it Cutting Boulevard down to Ashby, Berkeley. It's been a string of problems. The good news, Stan, is that all those accidents have been cleared out of lanes of traffic, but the traffic is still hung up on the East Shore and a little bit on 580, trying to merge onto 80 at Albany Hill. But they did turn the metering lights off at the Bay Bridge Toll Plaza around 8:20 this morning, but a lot of that slow traffic is now going to be making their way to the toll plaza now that the lanes are all reopened, getting down through Berkeley, Emeryville. So we'll see if they stay off. In San Francisco, looks like we do have a situation on the northbound side of 101 coming up to the ramp onto the Central Freeway. It's a road work setting up in the right lane that is slowing traffic in Hospital Curve, northbound 101 coming from the James Lick Freeway up to that transition ramp. We're also seeing still slow traffic through Los Altos Hills, grass fire being battled. 2 left lanes are cordoned off right now for fire equipment northbound 280 right before Page Mill. Another sore spot has been conquered because of a long-standing accident that should just about be out of the way. This is on southbound 242 right near the 680 ramp. We still have traffic backed up around Solano Way as a result. Your next update, 8:58 on the traffic leader, KCBS.
NCD Sleep World 6-day forecast now. It is Mary Lee from KPIX5.
The high pressure builds in starting today, and that means we're going to warm things up today and over the next few days with that strong ridge. Now we're looking at daytime highs in the low to mid 80s with that sunshine inland around the bay, low to mid 70s and mid 60s along the coast. Not as windy as over the weekend, but still a little breezy along the coast and right around the bay with northwesterly winds about 10 to 20 miles per hour with gusts up to 30 to 35. With that strong ridge building in for us for Tuesday and Wednesday, we heat up even more. So low 90s inland Tuesday and Wednesday. We're talking those daytime highs in the mid to upper 70s around the bay Tuesday and Wednesday, and looking at mid to upper 60s along the coast. We're going to cool it down a little bit Thursday, Friday, and especially by Saturday.
Traffic and weather together on the 8s on All News 106.9 and AM 740 KCBS. You can add to the hundreds of peaceful demonstrations taking place around the state, the nation, and the world a paddle out at a popular beach in Santa Cruz. KCBS's Jeffrey Schaub was there, watched dozens of surfers and stand-up paddleboarders make a statement in their own way.
It's been said ocean water can refresh the body and spirit. Jay Wardy, a surfer, says there's no better place to seek expression.
We should honor Mr. Floyd's spirit and stand together in solidarity with people of color and communities affected by police violence. If this is the way we do it, this is the way Santa Cruz does it.
Lying on a beach towel with her paddleboard by her side, Monica Parikh said the event was a kind of awakening. She says never before has she taken an active stand against racism or police misconduct.
A survey was taken of people, and they found that 89% of Black Americans were angry as hell and this close to not being able to take it anymore. And the other 11% were really mad. And that struck such a chord with me, how naive I have been. So I think, it's time people are really listening.
In Santa Cruz, Jeffrey Schaub, KCBS.
A new poll suggests Americans may not be all that interested in major changes to the healthcare system as a result of the pandemic. COVID-19 pushed hospitals to the edge. Millions of workers lost their job-based health coverage during layoffs and furloughs. In short, it has been a chaotic time in the health world. But a survey by the University of Chicago Harris School for Public Policy and the Associated Press NORC Center for Public Affairs Research finds people say they're still somewhat more likely to prefer the private sector to run things than the government when it comes to things like driving innovation in healthcare, improving quality, and providing coverage. Basically, the numbers are unchanged since a similar question was asked in February when the coronavirus was still seen as an overseas problem and not much of a story in the U.S. Jason Brooks watching as Wall Street has another pretty solid day. Jason, what's going on?
Yeah, Stan, that rally has continued over the past week on optimism over the economy reopening, and that's gaining further momentum today with the Dow up 256 points at 27,367. NASDAQ moving higher by 23 points to 98.37, and the S&P is up 15 points at 32.09. The NASDAQ is trading in record territory. A Wall Street analyst thinks it's time Apple cut ties with Google's search engine. The Bernstein client note says Apple should buy DuckDuckGo to replace Google as the default search engine on the iPhone. DuckDuckGo is the fourth most popular search engine in the U.S., and the analyst thinks Apple could buy the Philadelphia area-based firm for $1 billion and save a ton of money later by not having to pay Google for its search engine, which is estimated to cost Apple about $7 to $8 billion a year. The note says Google has stayed with Apple as a means of blocking Microsoft from becoming the default search for Apple's Safari browser. Shares in Apple moving slightly lower today. Tesla, though, having a big day. Its stock is up by 4.5%, and it's trading above $925. That's $8 above its closing record that it reached in February. Tesla's stock has risen about 2.5 times since bottoming out in March. On the Money Watch, Jason Brooks, KCBS.
No one plans on having an accident. That morning, it happened to me. After the fall, I had so many questions about the hospital bills. Am I getting the best care? What about my job? I need help. I gotta call the Barnes firm. And that was the best call I could have made.
At the Barnes firm, we've handled thousands of accident cases. Our team works to answer all of your questions and help each client get the best result possible.
Attorney John Sheehan is responsible for the content of this advertisement. 12th Street, Oakland.
Hi, it's Gil Gross. Let's talk about an opportunity. Have you ever wondered how the banks make all their money? Have you ever wanted to be on that side of the deal? Well, at Pacific Private Money, their clients are doing just that. For over a decade, clients of Pacific Private Money have been earning returns of 7% and higher secured by California real estate at conservative values. In these uncertain times, it's important to earn consistent returns on your savings and retirement accounts. And let's face it, many of us are not on track to achieve the level of retirement income we desire. Strategies like Pacific Private Money's mortgage-backed investments might be just the thing you need to boost the income in your retirement accounts. Remember, earning 7% and higher is not uncommon. Join the thousands of Bay Area residents who've learned one of the best-kept secrets in investing today. For information, call them at 415-883-2150 or visit their website at pacificprivatemoney.com. That's 415-883-2150 or visit pacificprivatemoney.com.
As dads, it's our job to capture as many memories with our kids as possible. It's also our job to embarrass them, and if we're lucky, we get to do both. That's why I'm thankful my son created Legacy Box. the world's largest digitizer of home movies and photos.
And I'll never recover from the time you showed up to my middle school dance to disco in front of everyone. Thanks, Dad. But he's right. Simply fill your legacy box with your old VHS, camcorder tapes, film reels, and photos, and we'll do the rest.
And in just a couple of weeks, you'll get your originals back, along with a DVD, thumb drive, or cloud delivery. Stuff that even an old man like me can figure out.
Check out Legacy Box today. Plus, for Father's Day, we're offering an incredible 50% off. Visit legacybox.com/gift. This is one of the best discounts we've offered. That's legacybox.com/gift for 50% off. legacybox.com/gift.
KCBS News Time at 8:58. First for traffic. It's Kim's turn from your local Honda Dealers Traffic Center.
All right, well, the Chilton Auto Body collision cam is still catching up with slow traffic here. East Shore Freeway slow to recover from a string of earlier problems, some of which were pretty severe, Stan. So West 80, say from Cutting Boulevard down to about Ashby, Berkeley, that's the slow spot. It's going to take you about 20 to 25 minutes to thread your way through that, but it keeps getting a little bit better. It has cleared out the traffic that was slow at the toll plaza of the Bay Bridge. We had earlier problems on the Bay Bridge, too. So they have got the metering lights now off, so it's easy getting into San Francisco. Traffic on the San Francisco freeways. The only slow stuff is North 101 from Cesar Chavez out toward Hospital Curve. There is some work, road work that had been set up on the ramp to the Central Freeway, so traffic is a little bit hung up on northbound 101. We're still seeing delays out of Concord for southbound 242 merging onto 680. Earlier crash there. And it looks like there's a large debris field on eastbound Interstate 80 up by the Cordelia truck scales. It's the left lanes that are being reported as blocked. Your next update, 9:08 on the traffic leader, KCBS.
Temperature's going to be up today and the wind way down, so that's a plus in both departments probably. Near 80 in San Jose today, 77 in Oakland, 71 in San Francisco. Traffic and weather together on the 8th, so on All News 106.9 and AM 740, KCBS. Monday, June 8th, 2020, coming up on KCBS.
This is Matt Bigler. How Alameda County is allowing people to expand their social bubbles.
I think it's a great idea.
And I'm Tim Ryan with a look at BART ridership numbers. More and more people headed back to work, but are they taking public transit?
And congressional Democrats take a knee in honor of George Floyd while introducing a new measure on racial injustice in policing. I'm Stan Bunger. CBS News covers the world next.
When you need to know, KCBS AM, KFRC FM, and HD1. San Francisco, Oakland, San Jose, a radio.com station.
It's 9 o'clock.
This is CBS News on the Hour, your home for original reporting.
I'm Steve Kathan in northern New Jersey.
We are here to honor George Floyd.
House Speaker Nancy Pelosi and other congressional Democrats took a knee in D.C. for 8 minutes, 46 seconds, symbolic of the last minutes of Floyd's life as they unveiled new police reform legislation. Senate Democratic leader Chuck Schumer.
As we stand in silence, rather than in a spoken pledge, let us reflect on those words. Justice for all. And what we need to do to make those words actually true in our time for Black Americans and all Americans.
In Houston, Floyd's body is now in a church for a public viewing. Family attorney Lee Merritt says protests following his death will yield results.
Every family that I've ever worked with, they said they wanted to make sure that this never happens to anyone else's kid or anyone else's loved one. This family is closer to making that a reality than any other family that I've had the pleasure of representing.
Overseas, in France, a police knee on a neck just days after Floyd's death has led officials to ban chokeholds like that. New York City, hard hit by the coronavirus, is now in phase 1 of a reopening plan. 100 days since the first case was identified. For this construction worker, it's back on the job.
After 3 months of being home, I could not wait to get back to work.
From Orlando, CBS's Peter King has more on some numbers that could be a concern.
New COVID-19 cases in Florida have topped the 1,000 mark for 5 straight days.
Health officials say part of this is due to increased testing. The percentage of positive tests is actually declining. They're also worried that with the state now in its second phase of reopening, people are ignoring social distancing.
Well, CBS's Cammie McCormick has more on restrictions being lifted for U.S. troops.
There are 39 states and 5 countries on this list, including Germany, Japan, and the U.K. A memo from Defense Secretary Mark Esper says, subject to conditions on the ground, troops in these locations can move again. The conditions include 14 days of a downward trajectory of new coronavirus cases in the areas.
Well, Gulf Coast states are getting a drenching from the remnants of a tropical storm. In the West, CBS News meteorologist Jeff Baradelli says there's a potentially dangerous combination.
Very dry conditions, very gusty winds with gusts over 60 miles an hour, and the threat for fires. If one is started, it will spread quickly.
Lawyers for Britain's Prince Andrew say U.S. prosecutors are seeking publicity and insist he has been cooperative in the investigation into Jeffrey Epstein. The Justice Department is now asking British authorities to question the prince. Wall Street right now, good day for stocks. The Dow's up 242 points. This is CBS News.
You can listen to CBS News Radio 24 hours a day, 7 days a week on radio.com or the radio.com app. Download it today.
It's 9:03 at the Bay Area's news station, KCBS, warming up around the area today. The winds are down, too. Good morning, I'm Stan Bunger, and here's what's happening. Alameda County remains the Bay Area's county with the highest tally of COVID-19 cases, nearly 4,000 of them now since the beginning of the pandemic. But the county is also taking the lead in another category, allowing people to get together and putting a name to the process. KCBS's Matt Bigler joining us from Alameda County with more.
The Alameda County Health Department has released new guidelines for the shelter in place, now allowing residents to do what many have been already doing, gather in social bubbles, a group of up to 12 people who may now socialize together, but only outside. And yes, masks and social distancing are still recommended.
I think it's a great idea.
Mio Psyche lives in Alameda County and says she will probably invite some friends of hers into her social bubble.
They live nearby. I've talked to them on the phone, but it'd be nice to see them.
The county also says you can only belong to one bubble, no bouncing from bubble to bubble, and these groups should be maintained for at least 3 weeks. Meanwhile, other counties are also easing back on shelter-in-place rules in effect for nearly 3 months now. Santa Clara County is allowing 2 family groups to meet outside for children's play dates, but 6-foot social distancing must be maintained. How you do that with little kids is anybody's guess. In the East Bay, Matt Bigler, KCBS.
The Bay Area's tally of people being treated in the hospital for COVID-19 remains fairly stable, while that number is going up statewide. The statewide count of people hospitalized with COVID-19, in fact, at its highest level in 3 weeks. The Bay Area numbers remain flat. Those statewide numbers had dropped to their lowest level since early April, about 10 days ago, and have been climbing since then. When it comes to seriously ill people, the Bay Area now has about 80 people being treated in intensive care units for COVID-19. That is the lowest number in over 2 months. More and more people are headed back to the office or other workplaces. KCBS reporter Tim Ryan says BART is adding additional service starting this morning and hoping to get people to take up the service with new safety protocols.
BART ridership dropped like a rock when the pandemic hit. More than 9 out of 10 riders abandoned the service, and BART cut its hours and the frequency of its trains. That is turning around now with additional trains for the morning and afternoon commute on the yellow line between Pleasant Hill and Daly City. BART is requiring that riders wear face coverings, has stepped up disinfection of trains and stations, including electrostatic foggers that leave a fine disinfectant mist on surfaces. BART has a new promotional video with health workers who have been riding all along, including Nina, a Kaiser Permanente employee.
I work here in Oakland and I come from Redwood. I take BART every day. I really like it that BART is still running and still with 10 trains and not crowded.
That's part of the safety measures, longer trains providing safer distance in between riders. If you plan on riding BART, you'd best get a Clipper card soon, as more and more stations are going ticketless. In the South Bay, the VTA also is increasing service starting today. Tim Ryan, KCBS.
And we can report this morning the last cruise ship has come back to port. A truly bizarre story. The MV Artenia tied up at Bremerhaven in Germany today. That brings to an end an epic return voyage from Australia. They had to make several diversions en route to drop off crew members, to drop off passengers. And all told, by the time they docked in Bremerhaven today, there were 8 passengers aboard that ship. The ship was on a round-the-world cruise from Hamburg that began back in December. It was supposed to take 140 days. And, of course, the coronavirus hit. 36 passengers tested positive for